talked earlier, you wanted to focus on writing. Tell me about where you are. You're just getting started with your narrative unit?
Personal narratives.
Personal narratives.
And I feel like I can set up the class fine. Like I have mentor texts and examples, things like that, and I can wrap it up. But just that in the middle, the conferencing and keeping track of it and seeing what we did the other day, what everybody's doing, I'm not there, and I want to be there.
Okay. So you have some teacher goals
Yes.
that you really want to work on?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about kids for a minute, and then we'll come back to those.
Okay.
So what do you notice about your writers right now? Like, what are some things that they have a grasp on, some things they might need?
They're really good at sitting and getting going. They'll write the entire time. But it's just those small things like punctuation, capitals, that I seem to always be reminding them about. So that's what I'm working on, is I can teach something, like when we did Reading Like a Writer, we would do an author study, and we'd notice what they did and try it in our own writing. So like, we would learn something Mo Willems would do, and then they would go bring it right to their writing and try it, but then they still wouldn't have capitals and periods.
Right. So they're getting the craft
Yeah.
pieces, they're getting the idea pieces. It's those detail pieces
Yeah.
that aren't always there.
And that's why I'm thinking if I had a system for them to track it, it'd be one of those motivators of, oh, I want to get all my check marks today, or I want to get all my stickers today, or something. Or even if it's just once a week, where I just randomly pick one of their pieces they've been working on. It doesn't have to be every day, but it might be more motivating because they're being held more accountable for
Sure.
it, and they
Sure.
I think it's that like reward system.
Right. Well, it's that student
Yeah.
student ownership, right?
Mhm.
Because they're owning it and they're tracking it and they're determining when they have it there.
Yeah.
So then they become independent,
Mhm.
which is awesome. They're
Except for the
writing,
ones-
they're showing crafts. Are they following that story structure? Are they
Yeah,
expanding their ideas? I know you guys had worked on details with your
Mhm.
IEGs.
Yeah, and they are. They're doing a lot better at those, like, if you looked at the school-wide writing prompt, one of my things that almost no first graders had was a conclusion. I think I had one kid who attempted a
Right,
conclusion.
right.
And now I would say like 70% of them had a conclusion. So like, that's definitely working, and they're having more details, and they're having an introduction or topic sentence. That's just those.
Right.
And I feel like that's why, if I was better at that conferencing piece, that might help,
Okay.
because I'm keeping track of it.
Okay. So you're thinking about just having another strategy in place to be able to grow your writers.
Yes.
And you're seeing the things they need working on, or kind of some of those finite skills. I'm gonna want to go back to just what have you done? Like, what have you done though that's been useful along the way to get those introductions, those conclusions, and details in place? What's working there? So you're thinking then that another tool. So the focus lesson has been helpful. Holding them accountable has been helpful. You said you feel strong with closure in your writer's workshop. So you're thinking the piece that might grow those other pieces would be the feedback.
Yes.
During the middle. Okay. And you said conferring would be a way to get feedback.
Yeah.
That you'd like to work on. We did that K2 writing vertical team last week, and we looked at all those tools.
Yeah.
And you said you didn't feel like you were there
Yeah.
yet, had your head spinning a little bit. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what is it you want to try out?
Well, they have their own checklist in their book, so I have a lot of those things where they said they have their own, and they're laminated so they can like erase them and use them on a new piece of writing. But I don't have, like, everybody said, oh, this is my checklist and this is how I allow them to keep track of it. I have, since it's laminated and they can erase it, so sure, they might have capitals on this piece, but do they have, and there's no way to track how many pieces they've mastered. Like those people who had like the stickers to track it, or they had a checklist, and every time they had it, they put like a check by that they still have the punctuation or something. And so I had no way for me to see that and for them to see it.
Okay. All right, so it's almost two parts.
Yeah.
You're talking about getting your students involved in the goal setting and the tracking and the feedback. Like their self-evaluation is a piece of the feedback you'd like for them to use. And then also a tool for you so that you're tracking that.
Yeah.
So that you are making sure that when you confer with them, they're getting growth producing feedback and you're able to follow up.
Yeah.
So those two pieces. And you believe if you have that structure in place, that's going to help our students meet their goal of adding all of those other details that they need to their writing, right? The mechanics, and we know that, and we can, if we were to try to decide what that goal might look like. And I know you had your goals about details, right? Was your goal on details that you guys wrote your IEG goal? Did you write on? On the rubric, it was on conclusions. What did you write your goal on that you guys are all tracking on your reformative writing assessment?
No, I think it was on like conventions.
It was.
I think that, I'm pretty sure I came look it up, but I'm pretty sure we all noticed that they are generally good writers, but it's those little details of like spelling trick words and capitals and periods.
Okay. So that is your goal. I just wanted to see if we aligned it, because that would make sense to align your goal for this coaching cycle with that goal. So let's take a look at that for a minute, because it was combined growth.
Yeah, combined growth, but that was everybody's lowest area. So I think that's what we were talking about.
That's what your renewed focus is.
Yeah, is that they would have they stayed on topic. They would have one or more reasons supporting that topic.
Right.
But everybody's lowest area was conventions.
Yeah, so that was where you, when you did your mid-year check-in on the last formative writing assessment, then you felt like you were growing those other places. That's where your focus is. Okay.
I still have kids like Timo's writing is a total 4, but he doesn't have finger spaces still.
Okay.
So it's just those little things.
Right. So the good news is all the focus you did on all those other places on the rubric all fall have made a difference. And I was in here the other day, and they're just right, and they've got thoughts and ideas, and they're excited about it. Okay, so I'm just pulling up that rubric that you guys used. I don't know if it helps very much or not, because I know that's the end of the rubric that's not super capitalizes correctly, so it's this section.
Yeah, because it's capitals, using punctuation, conventional spelling, those kind of things, but they're still not.
So if you wrote a goal, would you want to use, I mean, you could certainly create our own, but we could use this rubric as, because we could use your baseline from your formative writing assessments, right? If we just look at this section of the rubric and we say this many kids scored 2s, this many scored 1s, or 3s.
That'd be great.
Would that make sense for a goal?
Because we still have one more prompt.
Right.
So.
And we could track it, and then we also could formatively look at this, just even at the end of their personal narrative unit, we could also just say, okay, where are we now? Did we move, is this individual conferring? Is this, this goal tracking for them? Is that helping them move along here? Okay. All right, so I'm hearing us think that we'll do goal on the language conventions section. We'll do baseline for formative. Use something from here. We can even make, we can decide how that looks student-friendly or whatever. All right, so then let's just talk about, the last part is just to talk about how, when we want to get together to plan, if there's a day of the week that's best for us, usually about half an hour at least a week, and then I try to come in 2 days a week.
Okay.
Right now, Mondays and Wednesdays are my best day. Would that work for you if I come Mondays and Wednesdays? I'm in another room on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so let me pull my calendar. How do you like, and we can decide as we plan, but be thinking about this for next week. How do you like to interact? Like, do you like us to co-teach? Do you like me to model a lesson and you watch for something? So we don't have to decide this now, but think about how you prefer to interact in your classroom.
I already know.
Okay, well good, you can tell me.
I like to see it first.
Okay.
So I went to that, whatchamacallit, like lesson or whatever at Jeffco on conferring. And it was nice, but like, I didn't witness it. They like taught us about it, but I didn't get to see it. And I think that's always been the most helpful for me, is if I actually see it in action. So that's what I want. So I would
Perfect.
love for you to model it and then.
Perfect.
go.
So here's my thinking. We can do where I model some conferring. I could even model on some
Yeah.
impromptu on Monday.
Mhm.
So can model some, and then we can look at some different tools. And I think Kathy's breakout session on Wednesday, and I don't know, it is going to be on conferring tools. I know you saw a lot
Yeah.
over there, but maybe we
I
can
was
try a
already
few
thinking of
out.
signing up for that
Okay,
one.
yeah. So we can, so if you look at those, maybe that'll be a good idea. I'll just come in and impromptu confer with some kids on Monday.
Okay.
We can talk about it, and then if we model, and then
You won't
maybe
wanna
that
model
following,
Wednesday
yeah, Wednesday's
because
gonna be
it's a half
crazy.
day. Yeah.
So, but then we can look at those tools when we
Uh-huh.
plan, and then we can decide which ones you wanna
Okay.
try out.
Yeah.
And then we can try using them. And, and we may try one and like it and say, or try one and it doesn't work, and then we
Yeah.
try another one,
Mhm.
so that you find something that works for you and for your kids. So that'll be fun. So yeah, all right. So I will be in on Monday, 8:45. Is that what time you start? What time do you start?
We try.
Yeah.